Hi guys, let's have a look at Nasdaq 100, and we are on the monthly chart as you guys can see. And in regards to the monthly chart, we can see that the market had attempted to create what seems to be a W structure at that level, with this side being the first leg of that W and this side being the second leg, right? And the neckline of that W structure would be more or less at this point. And just remember that the neckline is now a very strong level of resistance. And as much as we have that W structure, what may actually happen in the future is that price may approach this level over here and then push further down, right? And remember also that whenever it comes to W structures, what normally happens is a lot of traders and investors buy on that second leg of the W and place their stop losses just below, right? So in regards to this W structure, we have a lot of stop losses that are sitting just below this level over here. And remember that stop losses represent liquidity, and liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So as much as over the last 2 months or so the market has been rather bullish, it is quite possible that we will see price move further down to trigger all of those stop losses that are sitting at this point, and then we might potentially see a reversal, or price may continue to move further down and to this level over here. And why do I see that level? That is because we have this candlestick over here, which is a bearish candlestick with a relatively small body and a long lower wick, right? And remember guys, this in other words means that we have a lot of liquidity that's sitting at this point. And as I've said, liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So let me just actually mark this level. It's not important at this point, but I'll just mark it for now because I believe that in the future we will see price heading down to that level to grab that liquidity. Anyway, from here I'm just going to head down to the weekly chart, and here we are on the weekly chart. And just to recap guys, remember on the monthly chart I spoke about how we have this W structure, and as much as we have that W structure, can you guys also see that we have a smaller overextended M structure over here, which has a neckline at that level? It's an overextended M structure because that first leg is higher than that second leg, right? And we can see that at this point in time the market is retesting the neckline of that M structure, right? So I'm just gonna add a neckline to that structure, so just bear with me while so guys. There we go. We can say that more or less this is the neckline of our M structure. And just remember that M structures, or rather necklines, are just bear with me, just remember that necklines of M structures rather are resistance areas, and what may actually happen at this point in time is that price may actually move further down, right? So what else do we see guys in regards to the weekly chart of Nasdaq 100? At this point really I don't see much, but what I will do is head down to the daily chart. However, before I do so, let me just actually use the Fibonacci retracement tool. We just want to have a look in terms of whether that neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have on the tool. So just bear with me guys while I utilize this tool. Let's see. There we go. So guys, we can see that the neckline, which is over here, of this overextended M structure aligns with, we could say, both the 61.8% as well as the 50% Fibonacci retracement levels, right? So there is confluence in as far as looking for potential selling opportunities goes at that level where we have that neckline. I'm just going to delete this fib pattern, just bear with me, right? So there is confluence guys, as I've said, that indeed we might find potential selling opportunities at that neckline, and that is because we have confluence, right? Number one, we have that M structure, right, which is over here. Number two, we have the neckline of that M structure being broken to the bottom side. Number three, we have price currently at the neckline of that M structure, retesting it. And number four, we have the neckline aligning with key numbers on the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So what else do we see guys? And just remember guys that earlier I spoke about how we have this huge W structure and a lot of stop losses that are sitting at this point. So what may happen is that price may push further down to grab all of those stop losses that are sitting at this point, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Anyway, from here, what I'm gonna do is head down to the daily chart, seeing that at this point I really don't see much. However, before I do so, I just want to point out also that we have this candlestick over here. It is also a liquidity candlestick and is carrying a lot of liquidity at this level. So can you guys see that there's plenty of scope for the market to actually push further down, right? There's plenty of scope for the market to push further down, and the reason why we say so is because there's a lot of money sitting just below, right? Anyway, let me just head down to the daily chart. Let's have a look. Here we are on the daily chart. I'm just gonna fix my daily channel more or less, right? And just to recap once again, now that we are on the daily chart, on the higher time frames, we spoke about how we have this M structure over here, which is an overextended M structure, which has a neckline at that point, and we said that price currently is retesting the neckline of that M structure, and that we might potentially see the market push further down, right? So as much as that's the case, guys, as much as we have, as I said, this M structure, can you also see that we have an opposing structure, which is a head and shoulders pattern at this point, which also has a neckline at that level, right? So we have a bit of a dilemma in the sense that we have two opposing structures. Number one, we have the structure over here, which is an M formation, and number two, we have the structure over here, which is a head and shoulders pattern, and they both have necklines that are very much in the same vicinity, making it very risky in regards to buying or selling at this level, which is this level over here. So I hope what I've drawn makes sense, guys. I hope my lines are not too confusing. The reason why I have all of these lines is so that we can see what's happening in regards to the various levels as we head down to the lower time frames, right? So let me just redraw that so that those of you who have missed it can just see what exactly it is that I'm talking about. Remember, we have this huge M structure, and we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern over here. Can you guys see that? And it has a neckline at this point. And earlier I said that at this point we should potentially be looking for selling opportunities, right? However, we have a support level over here, which is the neckline of that head and shoulders pattern. It's actually an inverted head and shoulders pattern, guys, right? So buying or selling at this point over here is a bit risky. Buying or selling at this point is a bit risky. Nonetheless, we'll see if we can somehow get over that as we head down to the smaller time frames, right? So the next thing that I'm going to do in regards to the daily time frame is to add my daily channel. So just bear with me, guys, as I do so. Let's see. I would add my channel more or less in this manner. And just remember, guys, I know I always say this all the time, but we just need to ensure that our, or whatever drawings that we add to our charts rather, are as accurate as can be, right? So there we go. There goes our daily channel. And then I'm just going to zoom in again. So what else do we see, guys? What else do we see that we should be paying attention to on this particular chart? At this point, I really don't see much. What I will do now is head down to the H4 chart. And here we are on the H4 chart. On the H4 chart, I'm just going to fix my channel more or less. Let's see. That should be fine. There we go. There goes our daily chart, or rather our daily channel, which I've just fixed. And yeah, guys, so here we are once again on the H4 chart. And just to recap once again, remember, on both the daily chart as well as the weekly chart, we spoke about how we have that huge M structure, which has a neckline at this point. And we also spoke about how we have an inverted head and shoulders pattern at this point, which has a neckline at this level. Do you guys remember? And we also said that buying or selling at this point is a bit risky because anything could happen at this point, right? And remember, the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern is now a strong area of support, and the neckline of that M structure is also a very strong level of resistance. So as I said, buying or selling at this point is a bit risky. Anyway, let's proceed. So the next thing I'm going to do really here is to add my neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern. So just bear with me, guys. Let's see. We could say that more or less this is the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern. And if I can just zoom in, guys, we can see that indeed buying or selling here is a bit risky, because if we buy, right, the market could push to this level, which is the neckline of that M structure, and then push further down. And if we sell, the market could push further down to this level, which is the neckline of the inverted head and shoulders pattern, and then push further up. That's the reason why I say it's a bit risky in regards to buying or selling. Nonetheless, let's proceed. So from here, what I'm going to do is add rather my H4 channel, and just bear with me, guys, while I do so. There we go. More or less, we could say that this is our H4 channel. There we go. Right. So what else, guys, do we see on the H4 chart? So, guys, as much as we have, as I said, this inverted head and shoulders pattern, right, we also have what seems to be a smaller M structure forming at this point. However, in order for us to look for any selling opportunities, I believe that we need to wait for the market to actually close on this side of this channel that we have here, right? And another thing is that this M structure has a neckline also at this point, so it may be best to actually wait for price to push further down to at least close below this neckline, and then wait for the market to head back to the neckline. And at the neckline is where we may look for potential selling opportunities, and our take profit would be, as I've said earlier, guys, somewhere around this level. And the reason is because we have a lot of stop losses that are sitting at this level, as I said to you guys earlier. And the other reason is that we have this candlestick over here, right? And we said that it is a liquidity candlestick, as it is holding a lot of liquidity at that point, right? Yeah, so what else do we see, guys, in regards to the H4 chart? Another thing that I see in regards to the H4 chart is that as much as we have this M structure over here, we also have an opposing W structure over here, which has a neckline at this point, right? So can you guys see actually why I say buying or selling at this point is a bit risky? It's very, very risky. Just to recap, guys, number one, it is risky because we have this M structure as well as this inverted head and shoulders pattern, which both have necklines at more or less the same areas, right? That's the first reason, right? The other reason is that we have what seems to be an M structure here, and it also seems to have, if we can just zoom in, an opposing W structure at this point. Can you guys see that, right? Anyway, that is it really, guys, and as far as my analysis of Nasdaq 100 goes. In conclusion, as I said, guys, it is very risky in regards to buying or selling. However, what may actually happen is, because if you look at this level over here, right, we've had first touch here, second touch here, and a third touch there, that the market may push further up, right? But as much as I say that, remember that we also have this level over here. It is the neckline of that huge M structure, and price may indeed push up, get to this point, and then from this point move further down, right? So we just need to be careful in regards to buying or selling in regards to Nasdaq 100 is concerned. But in as far as buying or selling opportunities go, at this point I don't see any buying or selling opportunities, and that is because the market at this point in time is very much mixed, and anything can happen at this point in time. So that is my analysis, guys, in as far as Nasdaq 100 goes. I hope it makes sense, and peace out.